Hey guys, it's me again. So if you watched my intro video, you know that I didn't plan on this being a book-focused channel. I also wanted to talk about, other things that interested me, like movies, TV shows, different things like that. And with that in mind, I thought I'd give you a wrap of all the things that I completed in April and kind of where I am with other different series and books and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the TV shows that I just finished. So I just finished 13 Reasons Why, and I know there's a lot of different people talking about the reviewing the series or why they like it, why they don't like it. I loved it. I didn't know there was a book until after I was finished watching the show, and I loved the show, so I do plan on eventually reading the book. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I loved the show. It was really good. It brought up a lot of topics that need to be talked about now, and just different things. It was generally a really good show. The other show that I finished is Luke Cage. Total different, I know. And I really liked that. I haven't seen, sadly, any of the other series that leads up to the Defenders. I've seen the first episode of Jessica Jones, and that's it. But I haven't seen any of the other ones yet. But I really, really liked Luke Cage. I mean, I liked Luke Cage as a character in the comic books too. He was pretty cool there. So I was really looking forward to this, and it did not disappoint at all. I loved it. It was brilliant. Alright, so anyway, somebody needed a cuddle. This is Wiley. Say hi, Wiley. So, Luke Cage, I love his whole, the whole anti-hero thing that he has going on, and it's just, the actor did an amazing job, and all the names have escaped me, sadly. But I loved the series, and it was great. As for what I'm still working on, I'm still working on Star Trek Next Generation. We're in the final season. In fact, we have 5 episodes to go. Hopefully we'll be able to finish that this month. We'll just see what happens, hopefully though, because I'd love to do a video on that one, like a top 5 favorite Star Trek Next Gen episodes type of thing or something. That would be a lot of fun to do, I think. So hopefully we'll be able to do that one and get that finished in May. Are you trying to get down now? No, you're getting comfier. Okay. Let's see. That's it for the TV shows. And I also started watching She-Ra, but it's She-Ra. Kind of a remembrance of when I was younger. It was beautiful and wonderful. So yeah, those are the 2 that I'm working on right now. What? Where are you going? Okay, jump down. Okay. Sorry about that. As for the movies, I didn't really do a whole lot of the newer movies. I mostly did a lot of older ones. I think the newest one is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That was the newest movie that I've seen, at least for April, and I loved it. It was awesome. Of course it was. It was Harry Potter. Harry Potter rocks. It was great, and I look forward to seeing more from that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And the animals were super cute. But anyway, so I also saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. Not as good as the second one, but it still, or the first one, but it still had its merits. It was great. Escape from New York, yeah, and Escape from LA. Saw both of them. I liked LA better than I liked New York, but New York was really good too. I just loved the fantasticness of the characters in LA versus the characters in New York. And you really can't go wrong with Kurt Russell, honestly. Kurt Russell's awesome. Let's see, Fantastic Beasts, and I also saw For a Few Dollars More, which I believe is it's a spaghetti western, which means that it was filmed, I believe it was filmed in Italy by Italian directors, and everything is Italian and stuff, but it's a western. It has Clint Eastwood in it, being Clint Eastwood, and awesome. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. I'm not a big Western fan, so I'm not gonna jump up and down saying it was amazing. it was good for a Western. And Clint Eastwood is awesome. I saw Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. For those of you that don't know what that is, it is a Disney movie from, gosh, I don't know when, early 90s, I think. It had, it's about these three dogs, or not three dogs, three pets, 2 dogs and a cat, who have to, their owners leave them at a ranch and then go somewhere else, and you know, they have to go find home, and it's this journey. And you've got the 2 different types of dogs, you know, the faithful, loving dog, which reminds me a lot of my sister's dog, and then you have the crazy dog who's in it for himself, and yeah, he has some loving moments, but he's mostly independent and stuff. That kind of reminds me of my dog Zeus. And then you have the cat, which is the stereotypical cat. Donna Manchi plays Shadow, who is the faithful dog, and then Sally Field is Sassy, who's the cat, and Michael J. Fox plays Chance, who's the more independent, for himself, not for his human dog. And I love the story. It's a beautiful, beautiful story, and a lot of fun. Anyone who says that they don't like it is lying. Perfectly honest. And then while babysitting, I also watched Barbie Spy Squad. Yeah, Barbie Spy Squad. However, I will say that I love Barbie, and it is my fault that that movie was over there, because I have all of the Barbie movies, because I'm not going to say I'm obsessed with Barbie, but I love Barbie. And Spy Squad, although it's not one of my favorites, is basically Barbie and her friends become spies. There you go. But it's a good one. And then the last one I saw in April was A Shot in the Dark, and that is from the Pink Panther series. I don't know if you've seen those. They're like in the 60s, I think. And with Inspector Clouseau and all that. And I didn't like the first one, Pink Panther. This one, Shot in the Dark, was pretty good. It had its moments, and I'm not going to say it's my favorite, and I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it again, but it was good. It was enjoyable, I'll say that. As for books, this was, for me, a huge book month, and partially that is because I did a readathon, the Dewey 24-hour readathon, and I was able to get a couple books, literally a couple books finished. During the readathon, I finished Ramona and Her Mother from Beverly Cleary, which is the sweetest book about Ramona. And Ramona reminds me of, Ramona actually reminds me of one of my nephews, honestly. But yeah, it's a really sweet book about, you know, her and seeing her mom in a different way, and just her relationship with her mom. It was really good. And then also during that, I finished the Selection Stories, The Prince and the Guard, and this is just some companion novellas, different scenes from the Selection books. The first one with the Prince is a scene from his perspective from the Selection, and then The Guard is another one, which is from his perspective from the Elite, which is the second book in the first 3 trilogy. I thought they were both great. I loved the different perspectives. I think The Guard went on a little too long, in my opinion, because it started dragging, especially the fighting point. The part in the story was just a little too draggy for me, but you know, it was still pretty good. During the readathon, I also started another book, but I haven't finished it yet, and I'll get to that in a minute. But during April, I also read The Man in the Moon, which I know it's just a picture book, so big deal, but I love picture books. It's the only one I really read this month, and the pictures are beautiful. But it's A Man in the Moon by William Joyce, and I always open up to this picture every time I open this. Let me show you a different picture. But the pictures are just beautiful. I love them. So they are so pretty, and the story is amazing. And this is what the movie, I keep trying to say Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's what's on my mind. Legends of the Guardians. That's what Legends of the Guardians is based off. Not this book specifically, but this series of books. And this is the only one I've read of the Guardians of Childhood. Then I also read from the I Survived series. It is I Survived the Attacks of 9/11, or sorry, September 11th, 2001. And it's just about this little boy who, his dad's a firefighter, and this little, in New York City, and he goes to skip school and goes into the city to talk to a friend of his dad's who is also a firefighter, and just gets caught in all of the mayhem. And yeah, it was a really good story. It actually brought tears to my eyes for a little bit. Actually, the first one that I finished that in April is the one finishing off the trilogy for the selection, and that's from Kira Cass. And it, like I said, it finished everything off, answered most questions. I got really angry with, well, angry is the wrong word. I got really frustrated with America for a little bit in this, and with Maxim, to be honest. I got frustrated with both of them. Because they were just, mostly America was just being a little unreasonable. But it was pretty good. Regardless, it was pretty good. So yeah, those are the books that I finished. I'm still working on Caraval. I'm closer, I'm like 100 pages in on that one. The one I started that I didn't finish during Dewey is Prisoner B3, I can never remember, B3087, and it is about, it is based on a true story about a boy who went through 10 different concentration camps, starting the war. He was 10 when the war started, and at the point where I'm at, which is close to the end, he's either 15 or 16, he's not sure, I don't think. But, so yeah. And I find it interesting because, like, he's in, at one point, he's in Auschwitz, and I read Night by Eli Wiesel in February. And that is, if you haven't read it, is a true story about when Eli was in the concentration camps as a boy. And he was in Auschwitz at one point also. And some of the stuff that he says in his book about Auschwitz is also in this book, which I found it to be really, really interesting. And even to the point where a guard, a prisoner in Auschwitz, says the exact same line to both characters, the character in this book and to Eli. They say the exact same line word for word. And I find that to be really intriguing, you know, and it makes me wonder, were they in Auschwitz at the same time, you know, because they go, I know they go, when they leave it, they go to two different places, but, you know, it would be interesting if at some point they cross paths and they didn't even know it, you know. But anyway, so that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm almost finished with it. That's a wrap up of the different things that I've watched and read and listened to for April. If you liked my video, give a thumbs up. And if you liked it, consider possibly subscribing, pushing the button that says subscribe down below. If anything that I mentioned you want to hear some more about, or you want to maybe see me do a review of later on, or anything like that, feel free to mention that down in the comments. I will definitely take your suggestions. So you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, Goodreads, and you can find me on Letterboxd. And I will link all that information down below. That's it for me. Bye.